With version 4.6 around the corner, Arlecchino's coming, and so am I. Wait, no! All joking aside, this actually looks like it's going to be one of the better patches outside of the main region updates like our 4.0, 4.1, 4.2. It actually seems like it has a decent amount of content. So we're just gonna get straight into the video. This is gonna be Genshin Impact version 4.6 summarized. As usual, we're gonna input our very first redemption code, and this expires by the end of today, which is going to be April 12th of 2024. So if you don't put this in by the end of the day, it is going to expire and you won't be able to redeem it. So get this in as soon as you can. So version 4.6 is actually only going to have one new character this patch. However, it's a character that we've all been waiting for, Arlecchino. She's a Pyro character and she follows the path of the hunt. Uses the polearm. Before I talk about Arlecchino's kit, I have to talk about two key terms, which is Blood Debt and Bond of Life. Her kit can appear pretty complex, so I'll try to explain the best I can. When you have a Bond of Life attached to you, you are unable to recover any HP until you heal the amount of the Bond of Life that has been attached to you. As an example, let's say you have a Bond of Life attached to you at around 2000 HP. You won't be able to recover any HP until you recover at least 2000 HP or greater. Once you do, the Bond of Life will be removed. Blood Debt should be a little bit easier to understand. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with a Blood Debt, they will take Pyro damage over time, and it has various effects and synergy, which is going to be a very core aspect of her kit. And with all of that out of the way, we can finally start talking about Arlecchino's kit. So whenever Arlecchino has a blood bond attached to her over a certain percentage of her health, her normal, charge, and plunging attacks are immediately converted into Pyro damage, and it cannot be overwritten. While in this Pyro elemental fusion state, every attack that she does slowly decreases her cooldown on her skill, and her attacks increases drastically. However, her Bond of Life also slowly chips away. So she's a character that doesn't want to receive a lot of healing, and she wants a high Bond of Life meter. Arlecchino increases her Bond of Life meter whenever she uses her Elemental Burst or a charge attack on an enemy inflicted with Blood Debt. Arlecchino's skill is actually rather straightforward. She does a quick AoE attack, and enemies that are attacked with that are marked with Blood Debt. Now, I know this has been a lot of information, so I'll try to summarize real quick. Essentially, you're going to want to start off with Arlecchino's skill because that's going to apply Blood Debt on all of the enemies. And once that happens, you're going to want to either use her Elemental Burst or her Charge attack so she can increase her Bond of Life meter. And then whenever she has her Bond of Life meter up to a certain percentage, she has Pyro Infusion and she does more damage, also decreasing her skill, which you just find balance between using her skill to apply more Blood Debt and increase her Bond of Life by using normal attacks. Finally, let's talk about her Elemental Burst. Whenever Arlecchino casts her Elemental Burst, she immediately heals a certain percentage based on the Bond of Life that she currently has, and her Elemental skill is immediately reset, so you can acquire Bond of Life right away and go straight into damaging. Alright, I know that was a lot of information, so let's take a break and start with some event wish banners. So right away when version 4.6 starts, we're going to have Arlecchino and she's going to be paired with Lene. And her signature weapon, of course, is going to be a polearm, which looks really cool in my opinion. And for phase 2, we're going to have Wanderer and Baiju. Didn't we just have this? What about Ganyu? What about Nilu? What about anyone else? I'm sure many of you guys are going to be pretty thrilled to hear that Arlecchino not only is coming out, but she has her very own story quest. And it's looking like at the end of the story quest, we're going to have to fight her as a new weekly domain boss. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised that her quest isn't actually an Archon quest, because this looks very, very cool. She kind of gives me that Sephiroth vibes, the One-Winged Angel, and then also looks like a multi-stage fight where she goes and powers up even more and she sets the entire stage ablaze. It looks like an awesome fight, and I'm definitely going to be checking this out. Something else that was actually pretty interesting is we're actually getting new artifacts. but they didn't really tell us anything about it, so we're just gonna skip it for now. But hey, at least there's a new Sino story quest, Act 2. We usually don't get Act 2s, and Sino's actually one of my favorite characters, so I'm actually looking forward to this a lot. Let me know if you are too. This is going to be our second redemption code. Remember, it's going away today, so you have to input it as soon as possible. There's also going to be a new place to explore called the Underwater Sea Capital. There are going to be some overworld stuff, but it is going to be predominantly underwater. Shocking, I know. And it looks like we also have a new boss fight, which is going to be a centaur looking thing, which does look pretty cool, and if I were to take a guess, it's probably going to be material for our Lucina. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper Genshin update if there weren't some events. It looks like the main event this time will be going back to Watatsumi Island to hang out with Arataki Ito and the gang. So there's going to be some kind of music festival, and there's going to be 3 main events. It looks like there's like a guitar hero rhythm type deal. Another one, we're also going to be collecting pearls around the island. And for the final one, we're begging other people to come to the concert. Alright, Windtrace is back, but with a twist this time. Instead of just hiding the entire time, you're actually going to go around fixing generators. So it's essentially Windtrace, but Dead by Daylight. There's also going to be a typical combat event, where you pick the modifiers you want, and then you defeat the enemy. There's also going to be a combat event, where you pick the modifiers you want, and then you defeat the enemy. There's also going to be another event, where you pick the modifier you want, then you defeat the enemy, but for double the rewards. And last but certainly least, we also have a new TCG update. So for all 3 of you guys still playing Genius Infogation, rejoice, there's a new update on its way. The final redemption code is going to be right here, and all of the codes are going to be in the link in the description below, so check it out when you get the chance. And to rapid fire this last few quality of life updates, we have Serena Teapot optimizations, we also have avatar profile picture optimizations, and we also have treasure chest collecting optimizations for your treasure chest collecting needs. Although this is what you'd expect from your usual Genshin update, I would still say that this is pretty good. The Sano quest seems pretty interesting to me, and I want to see what the Arlecchino boss fight is all about. If you guys like these short summarize update videos, stick around because I always do one for Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, and I plan on doing it for Zenless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves when those come out as well. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you checking out the video. Stay tuned for all things gacha, and as always, subscribe for more.